Welcome to Wine Turtle's Club W unboxing video. You can read our comprehensive review of Club W by clicking on the link underneath this video. There's no doubt when a box from Club W arrives. The box is very distinct with its maroon and black label and Club W emblazoned on each large side. The smaller sides have a white W on them. The top of the box has a handle. Our first impression was, for a cheaper club, they certainly gave us a nice box. Now you may worry with a box like this that it's a pretty clear signal to anybody passing by that there's wine for the taking. However, you'll notice that on the bottom of the box, Club W includes a pretty significant warning about how to deliver wine, and all the freight companies and the U.S. Post Office know that a package like this contains alcohol. It requires a checked ID and a signature. The recipient has to be 21 years old. They can't just leave it because you left a note, and also that they are not allowed to deliver it to anyone who is intoxicated. Near the handle of the box, you'll find one small piece of tape. You just have to slit this carefully with something sharp, and from there the box is very easy to open. Club W is known for its focus on bottles that are unpretentious and not readily available to the public. They work with vineyards and winemakers to offer wines exclusively to club members. Each bottle provided in the box has a corresponding card. The high-quality glossy card contains information on the wine on one side. Keep this for when you drink the wine because it will give you a few key descriptors that will help you remember what you like, what you don't, and teach you how to identify those things that are right on the tip of your tongue but you can't quite name. When you flip the card over, you'll see one of our favorite parts of Club W, the recipes. Every bottle of wine has a specially paired recipe. These have very common ingredients, preparation is pretty easy, and they cover everything: snacks, meals, and desserts. Every recipe card includes notes on the bottom for other matching ideas, which are great if you have a food allergy in the house. So what's in this month's box? First we have Passarola, which is a white wine, a Vino Branco from Portugal, which is usually known for its red wines. So the card that comes with the wine will show you the vintage or year, the name of the wine, something about it, why it was selected, and then there'll be a short description of 2 paragraphs followed by our favorite part is the little circle that will tell you how to describe the wine, and then some slight tasting notes on the right side. Now, if we turn that over, what we're going to see on the left is a photograph of the recipe pairing that they suggest. This is a moqueca, which is very similar to a paella. Up at the top, you're going to have your ingredients. Again, everything is really easy to find. Regular ingredients you'll find at your grocery store. Followed by, underneath, the instructions. Simple, easy. The most it's taken us is maybe an hour for things that need a lot of preparation. And then here at the bottom, in italics, you'll find that there are alternatives, and this is great, especially a dish like this. If you have a seafood allergy in the house, there's a really simple way to make some swaps and make sure that everybody can enjoy the wine with something that really goes with it and will complement the wine. Next is another white wine. This is a Wayward wine. The second white wine we got this month might make some people say, oh no, 2 white wines, I don't really like white. But where our last white was very crisp, this 2013 Wayward white wine is actually slightly oaked, which means it's a little bit buttery and fuller and flatter on the tongue, which is a completely different taste from the other one. It will pair with completely different foods. So again, you'll see you've got the vintage and the type of wine at the top, a 2-paragraph summary, our little circle that's going to tell us what we need to know about the wine's flavor and feel, and then some tasting notes on the right-hand side. Flipping over the card, this one is paired with a mac and cheese with a sneaky veggie puree, which just sounds delicious. Looking at the ingredients, again, very easy to find. This one's a little more labor intensive because of the puree, but nothing big. And something to keep in mind is the fact that oftentimes if you try a wine and you don't like it, it could be something as simple as that you're pairing it with the wrong food. And so there are all kinds of rules about how to pair. The new rule is there are no rules, but we find that there are certain kind of tried and true ways to pair food, and Club W really understands that. And so you may think, oh, I don't like buttery wines. I hate oaked Chardonnays. I don't like anything that's not crisp and clean on my tongue. But sometimes just trying it with a different type of food will really change your mind, and that's what's great about these Club W cards. The final wine this month is a red wine. It's a red Zinfandel, and it has the coolest label, one of the best we've gotten from Club W, who always have kind of fun, interesting labels. And this is called Likelihood of Confusion. So the 2013 Likelihood of Confusion is a Zinfandel, and if you're familiar with white Zinfandel, this is the red variety made from the same grape. And this wine is going to pack a pretty powerful punch. And one way to tell that is if you look at the line extending down in the little circle, that's for the body. And generally speaking, a fuller bodied wine is going to have a higher rate of alcohol, and this wine does. It is sweet, it is smoky, it is kind of a butt kicker. Perfect wine to have with dessert. And we were talking about rules before, and one of the rules to remember is if you have a sweet wine, you have to have even sweeter dessert so that they actually complement each other instead of the dessert flattening out the taste of the wine. So besides a cool label, this one comes with an awesome recipe that complements it perfectly. So the recipe here is a date and walnut brownie. This recipe is actually vegan, and that is one thing we've noticed is the dessert recipes are often raw and vegan. But luckily, if there is a substitution, like for example, this one uses a flax egg, you can just use an egg if you don't want to make it vegan. Obviously, if something is raw, it's a good idea not to use an egg because you do want eggs to be cooked anytime you're making food. Raw eggs do increase your risk for foodborne illnesses, and especially if you're having guests, that's not something you want to have to worry about. Um, a lot of the Club W recipes for desserts use dates, and this is the most brilliant thing ever. Dates, chocolate, and nuts just makes a perfect feeling on the tongue without being super unhealthy. And again, they will give you other suggestions, including main courses, but there is something really nice about pairing this particular wine with a dessert. These date and walnut brownies are delicious, they're easy to make, and they only have to be baked for about 8 or 9 minutes, so they're also really quick. So that's a look inside a box from Club W, very typical box. This is a club we get from every single month, and we're always thrilled with what they have. If you like this video, come back, check out more of our unboxing videos, and see which wine club is right for you. Cheers!